Hi, it's Crystal here, your nature-inspired relationship coach. And today I want to talk to you about ebb and flow and how that can impact on your relationship. And the reason I was thinking about it was because I recently posted about there being a full moon. And I was thinking about how much the full moon can really influence the earth. And I watched a program on it recently as well, how just explaining why and how the moon controls the tides. So depending on how close the moon is to the earth, it will actually, the gravitational pull will mean that it will pull the tides, it will pull the water on the earth, so the tides will go out and then they'll come back in again as the moon moves further away. And I knew that already, but I didn't understand why and exactly how strong that pull was, how important it is for life on Earth. And I was thinking that because the Earth is covered by 60 to 70% of water over its surface, just how much water the moon actually controls and influences. And I was thinking, if we're 60 to 70% of water within our bodies, which I think can't be a coincidence that it seems to be the same as the amount of water on Earth, but anyway, if that's true, then surely the moon can have a significant impact on our emotions and actually create the ebb and flow of our emotions. And I was thinking, if that's true, what impact that can have on our relationships. And I think when we think about emotions, the ebb and flow, that can actually feel quite scary to lots of couples that I see for relationship coaching, because it's these ups and downs and highs and lows of emotions that can be really unsettling to a relationship. Your own mood will fluctuate, your partner's mood will fluctuate, and therefore the state of your relationship will fluctuate. Now, what about, rather than actually feeling threatened by that or worried about it, what about if we saw that as part of a natural process, so that our relationship will have natural ebbs and flows, and that rather than feeling that that's something to be worried about, that's actually something that's normal and actually that we can expect in our relationships, and therefore we can manage that accordingly. So very often what we tend to do with our emotions is to not give them the respect that they're due. That means that we can either deny our emotions and smooth over them and not share those with our partner, and therefore, small annoyances get ignored and they don't get spoken out, and we can bottle feelings up to the point where it just explodes and we have a huge blazing row with our partner because we're not paying proper attention to those emotions, because we feel for some reason we ought not to have them, or we shouldn't get annoyed, or we're worried about what will happen if we do express them. The other side of that is that we can actually really zone in on our particular emotion that we're experiencing and actually give it too much attention, so we become really worried about the fact that we have it and we become consumed by it and we kind of nurse it like a wounded child. And that's not to say that we shouldn't deny our emotions, that we should deny our emotions, but it's to say that sometimes we can give them too much attention because we're worried that we have them. So if we're feeling jealous, for example, we might zone in on that jealousy, let it consume us, and then have feelings of guilt because we feel like we shouldn't feel that feeling of jealousy, or we shouldn't feel angry, or we don't have the right to our feelings, when actually feelings are just what they are. So what if we just learnt to relax a bit towards our emotions, and within our relationship we could relax if we or our partner are experiencing those emotional highs and lows. So if we just saw them as part of a natural process, and that we didn't have to give them too much or too little attention, but we just go with the flow a bit more, and just accept that sometimes one or both of us will have a bad day, and sometimes we'll feel like talking about it, sometimes we won't feel like talking about it. But what's really important is that communication is ongoing, that actually we can honour our emotions and be able to express those with our partner, but without letting them consume us or being worried about that ebb and flow or the ups and downs. So just because your relationship will have ups and downs, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your relationship, that's natural and normal. Some relationships will have more ups and downs than others depending on what's going on, and if there's an underlying issue, then of course that needs addressing, but I'm talking about your general mood basically. Because I think, with the tides, the ebb and flow of the tides, I think the message I want to put across to you is you couldn't control the tides, and you couldn't stop the moon controlling the tides. And if you think how powerful the moon is and how powerful the interaction between the moon and the water on Earth, we couldn't stop it if we tried. So why do we try and stop that reaction within ourselves? Why do we try and stop our emotions from having their proper expression? Why do we not allow those emotions to just be what they are. And that's my point. So you wouldn't try and control the tides, you couldn't. So why would you try and control your own emotions to the point where you deny them to yourself, you don't express those? The key part of that obviously is effective communication and being able to express your emotions appropriately and skillfully in a way that your partner can hear you, you can hear your partner, and in a way that you can share those emotions and actually have a dialogue about those, where you can both care for each other, care about the emotions you're both experiencing, honour those emotions, and actually if they're caused by an underlying issue within the relationship, that you also feel equipped to deal with that underlying issue. So not only do you honour the emotions, but you get to the root cause of them. Now, of course, we can't all do that on our own. That is where sometimes we do need to seek external help. That is where sometimes we can't let things just carry on without actually paying attention to them. So another way to honour your feelings is to seek help. Seek help from a relationship coach like me, who can actually help you understand your feelings, learn how to appreciate and honour the ebb and flow in your relationship, but also enable you to communicate more effectively with your partner so that you can deal with any problems and challenges as they come up. And really importantly, so you can communicate with your partner as to how you're feeling in a way that doesn't make them feel defensive or act defensively towards you, and in a way that they can really hear you, so that you come away from conflict, for example, feeling that you've been completely heard, your feelings have been honoured, and your partner has really empathised with you and it hasn't escalated into an argument. So there's so many different ways I can help you with that. I've got a communication course which is called Compassionate Conflict for Couples, which, the essence of that is communication and navigating the obstacles in your relationship so that you can navigate conflict effectively, so it doesn't have to escalate into an argument, and that actually you and your partner can come away from a conflict or a challenge in your relationship feeling closer than ever. So there's that course for you. There's also my relationship coaching packages as well. So you can contact me if you go to my website, which is www.crystalwoodbridge.com. That's KRYSTAL Woodbridge.com. There you can contact me through my contact form. You can download my communication course for couples, which is called Compassionate Conflict for Couples, and you can ask me any questions you have about your relationship that you would like me to answer. I would love to hear from you. I would love to help you. That's what I do. I'm a relationship coach and I'm nature inspired. So I really like to help couples to really reconnect and have more enhanced, joyful relationships using nature as a guide. So contact me, www.crystalwoodbridge.com, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.